What's up, Niner fam? My name is JT Magnum. Welcome back to Niner News. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Chip Kelly hiring in just a second, but first, I wanted to say, yes, the Seahawks lost. I don't care. I don't care what people think. It's a rivalry team, and we rejoice when they lose, and I don't care. It makes me happy. At least they don't get to play the Super Bowl in our home stadium, which is a big thing because I know they would never let us down with it, their fans at least. And two, it's just great to see them lose. I don't care. I just love it when they lose. I don't care if we went 5-11. I don't care if they come on here and say whatever they're going to say. Oh, it's how'd you like watching us in the playoffs while your team wasn't? I don't care what they say. I don't care. You know, from the 90s to 2000, San Francisco 49ers were one of the greatest teams. From the 80s and 90s, I'm sorry, we were one of the greatest teams, period, in the NFL. Just years and years of just making the playoffs, years and years of enjoying success. Seattle Seahawks, you guys had it for 4 years. 4 years in the last 4 years, and then a few years prior to that in the 2000s. So you've had a short run of success. We don't care. Maybe it's been more now than of late for us. You know, we got to see it for years ago, and we had a short little run here for 3 years under Harbaugh. But you know what? It still feels good when you lose. I'm sorry. It just feels great. Now we're hoping that the Arizona Cardinals lose to the Panthers, and it's even better for us because I don't care if Carolina plays in our stadium for the Super Bowl, but I do care if the Cardinals and the Seahawks do because they're in our division. That's all I got to say. It's the NFL. It's the rivalry. But anyways, let's move on. Chip Kelly was hired as the 49ers' 20th head coach in our history, and at first, I got to admit, I did not like it. Well, not the hiring of him, but beforehand, before they hired him, I was on record of saying, please don't bring Chip Kelly to the 49ers. And the reason why was because I didn't want him having control of player personnel. But this hire was a little different, and there's lots of reasons you can look at it. Chip Kelly screwed up in Philadelphia. He traded away some players that he probably shouldn't have. In hindsight, maybe he was doing the right thing. Maybe his players didn't grasp that concept and didn't roll with him the way they should have. Maybe he had the wrong quarterback and Sam Bradford running his offense, or Mark Sanchez, whichever or did it during the time that he did it. But all in all, Chip Kelly wasn't not successful in Philadelphia. Just maybe this last season he sucked, but there was 2 years there. A year he made the playoffs. 2 bright, pretty much good years of offense for them, and they were a 4-12 team before he got there. So here we are, 5-11. They were 4-12 when he got there. Maybe this team will be a little bit better under him. And you gotta be optimistic about it now. I'm thinking, he is our head coach. You gotta support the team. But I know one thing, and there's 3 things actually I want to touch on this hire. Number one, the offense is gonna be better. And last year I said it because I thought Jeep Christ would actually do the things he said he was gonna do. And little did we know, Jeep Christ was just going to basically modify Greg Roman's, offensive playbook and try to make it his and do nothing with it. They basically did the same thing that they did the year before, which is don't use our weapons on speed. Don't use our speed weapons. Don't really throw the ball deep. Don't really have any plays that maximize the offensive potential. They didn't use Reggie Bush like they said they were going to use him. Like they're going to, you're going to put guys in space. We're going to do this. We're going to be an offense that delivers this and this. They said all this chatter and didn't do it. With Chip Kelly, what kind of offense he brings. He's going to bring a spread attack. He's going to hit you from multiple formations. He's going to just do anything he can to make sure the offense scores, and that's what I like. He's actually going to utilize this actual speed on the team. No more will you see Bruce Ellington do a reverse, get like 40 yards, catch a pass, get like 30 yards, and then leave the game and never come back for the last 3 quarters of the game. No more will you see stuff like that happening because Chip Kelly will utilize the players that he has, bring in players for mismatches, and he'll create tons of mismatches on the field, trust me, and the offense will be better. Now, who will be at quarterback? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I have a feeling that I think Cap is the one who's going to end up being the quarterback because he's actually the 18th. A lot of people like to say, oh, he has this big contract and he's getting paid this and that, and how are you going to constitute paying him this and that? Cap has the 18th highest contract for quarterbacks in the NFL. It's mostly incentive laden. It's a big high incentive contract, and he's really not getting paid that much. Especially the 49ers will be over $50 million over the cap next year. So they got a lot of money to play with, and that little contract is not going to do anything to hinder us getting any free agents and doing something smart next year to be able to help the team out. So I like that. Chip Kelly also has this is the second thing. Chip Kelly has no control over player personnel. That'll be Trent Baalke's job. God, please let Trent Baalke not mess it up this year. He looks like he's on a short leash, so I think he will actually do something to draft well and everything. We'll see what that happens, but we're not talking about Trent Baalke at the moment. So Chip Kelly not having any control over player personnel puts me at ease, because now I know that he won't just like get rid of people, do things like that, or he doesn't have to worry about that. He can just concentrate on the offense, and that's what he will do. Who he will bring in for coaching stuff, we'll see about that in a second, but it doesn't matter. He can concentrate on offense. That's what he does best. He's a genius when it comes to offense, and that's what I like about Chip Kelly. So at least I can be at ease, but maybe hoping that the offense will help the defense out next year, because Lord knows we were in some games this year that the defense was carrying us, and we could have won those games. Hey, we could have made the playoffs. If our offense played just a little bit better, the 49ers could have made the playoffs this year. They weren't that bad. Yes, they were bad because they were a 5-11 team, but they weren't that bad. If you look at some of the games that they were in, that they just could not score. They just couldn't score. And number 3, hopefully he's learned from his past mistakes. Those mistakes being, how he handled player situations, how he handled players, how he came in and ran things, the things that he may have done in Philadelphia that just, come back to haunt him later in the season or things like that. Hopefully he's learned from that and he can move on with this organization and do well for us. As a fan, we have to support him. And I gotta admit, there's some guys out there that I would have rather had as a coach, but given his record and he does have a winning record as a coach, given his things that he can do on offense, I do like the hire. I gotta admit, I like the hire. So we'll see how he goes. We'll see what happens in the future. But as I look at it, I like it better from an offensive standpoint. Let's just hope that he doesn't put our defense at risk, and he can hire somebody on defense that can actually, do a good job. If it's Eric Mangini, fine, I don't care, as long as Eric Mangini doesn't have these laps where he just calls wrong plays. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's how I feel about Chip Kelly. But what remains to be seen, who will the coaches be? We don't know who the other coaches be. We just said it. I don't even know who the defensive coordinator is going to be. Some. I'm hoping Tom Rathman comes back as a running backs coach. I think he did a great job. Tim Lewis just did not get hired from the Bengals. I don't know if he's going to be hired as a 49ers DB coach again, but I think that might not actually happen. Jason Tarver, people are hoping that he comes back as the linebackers coach. There's a lot of things. I mean, who will be the old coordinator, despite, Chip Kelly obviously calling some of the plays, but it just all remains to be seen. So I guess I have another video when all that coaching staff gets shored up and, the draft upcoming and free agency upcoming. Who am I looking at as free agents? I know Josh Norman is a free agent, but he's 29 years old, and I'm not sure if he's, how can you sign that guy to a long-term contract? It remains to be seen. Who will we target the draft? I have no clue. Now that Chip Kelly's there, I was thinking that it was going to be Paxton Lynch at quarterback, maybe at number 7, but now it looks like maybe we might keep Cap, or who knows, what the deal's going to be with that, but it looks to me like we might keep Cap. Maybe we might go wide receiver. Laquan Treadwell from Ole Miss at wide receiver looks good. I mean, but, do we try to go wide receiver when we have some receivers on this team? I don't want Bolden. Please, Lord have mercy, don't keep Bolden. He's too slow. I love Bolden, love his career, but he's just old now. We don't need that. We need to let the young guys stand up and play football. I think DeAndre Smelter will do well next year. He'll be our Bolden. Basically, it's a strong guy, 6'5", tall, can muscle people for the ball. We can hopefully use Bruce Ellington and Patton on the slot. We have Torrey Smith on the opposite of DeAndre Smelter, hopefully. And hopefully that's just, hopefully we can do something with this offense. Like I said, Chip Kelly's a genius. We'll see what happens and what he can do. But if we get a wide receiver in the draft, cool. Maybe we'll drop Bruce Ellington or drop somebody like that or somebody else. Patton, I don't know. But it's got to be a surefire guy in the draft if we're going to get somebody. So we'll see. And like I said, with Colin Kaepernick, I don't know what's going to happen. I just have no faith in him at this point. I know a lot of people still love Cap. I happen to think he's just one of the most talented guys in the NFL. He's so talented, so promising, so fast, got this nice gun of an arm, but he just can't seem to focus on reading defenses. Maybe some of that was the play calling, but Blaine Gabbert was running that same offense as him, and even he was able to throw for more yards, throw for more touchdowns, and just looked more comfortable in that offensive line. So maybe it was just different for him, but maybe it'll be different under Chip Kelly because he's more familiar with that style of offense. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but whoever's under center, I will support them. I will, be a fan, and I will hope that they do well because I want to see this team back to the promised land. I want to see them back in the Super Bowl. I mean, who doesn't? So that's it. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Chip Kelly hire. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the offense, what it might be like now in the future. Let me know what you think about the upcoming draft, who you think the 49ers will draft, or anybody in free agency that you think the 49ers might look at. There's a lot of guys I didn't even talk about in free agency. I haven't even talked about in free agency yet, but as soon as that comes up and we know who's the free agents and everything, I'll shoot a video and we'll talk about that. So anyways, guys, that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts and take care. We'll hope, and until next time, go Niners. Peace, y'all.